Nexus, we're connecting fans to the viral moments of the week. I'm here at the corner of Bevo Boulevard and Smokies Midway. I guess my favorite part of the week was our first chance to interview Cameron Dicker. I'm here with Adele, who actually watched Cameron Dicker play at Lake Travis High School. Adele, when Cameron Dicker takes the field, what gives you, I guess, the most confidence that he's going to hit it right through the uprights?
Well, it's what all we saw him do at Lake Travis. He was a clutch player for the Lake Travis team in the 3 years that we watched him there, and we had the utmost confidence in him coming to Texas. So I do get a little more nervous now because I have a personal connection to Cameron, and so I get a little more nervous than I used to watching a Texas kicker kick, but have all the confidence in the world in him.
And to see this guy grow up right in front of your eyes, you watch him at Lake Travis, and now he's among the most reliable kickers in the country, especially for a sophomore. What has that just evolution been like to watch him go from a young boy in high school to a young man now?
Well, it's awesome. We see that at Lake Travis. We've seen other players make that evolution from high school to college and hopefully to pro. So I have no doubt that Cameron's going to be kicking for the NFL somewhere.
And when you see him last year hit the game winner against the Oklahoma Sooners and give a little wink to the camera, what's going through your mind there?
That is so Cameron. He has always been just a cool dude, and he would not get nervous. You know, there were times we saw him have to make those big kicks, and he was always like, yeah, whatever, it's just my job.
A cool customer, especially last week after he hit that, 57-yarder at Rice. All right, thanks so much, Adele. Have a good time at the game today. Thanks for joining us. All right, guys, we're going to head over here to interview subject number 2. I'm going to pull out a video on my phone right here. So this is a scene of what happened last year. Here, I'm going to pause it for a second. First of all, what's your name?
Kayla.
And are you a student here at UT?
I am a student.
What year are you?
I am actually a pharmacy student, so I'm in my 3rd year.
Gotcha. So obviously, maybe you weren't at the game last year, but the game last year in Stillwater, it ended kind of chippy. So I'm going to show you this video right here. You have Breckenhager kind of losing his mind, and then Oklahoma State's coach coming onto the field. Tom Herman yelling, I think, what looks like expletives at him. You got Gundy with the mullet, then trying to fire up the crowd. So you see all of this transpire. You see a game in which Oklahoma State's won, and then Texas, maybe they didn't want to give up, call it, I guess, a will to never die. What's going through your mind, though, knowing that that's how last year unfolded, and I don't know, maybe we see fireworks again tonight?
Well, we were looking at some stats from the game, and we realized that our OSU stats aren't super great for the Longhorns, but we're expecting a different outcome this year. We're hoping for a big Longhorn win after the past 7 years we've had with them.
Tom Herman, clearly not the biggest fan of Mike Gundy in that video. Between the two head coaches, who do you think would win in a fight?
Oh, Herman, by far.
Why do you say that?
Because he's a Longhorn, and we don't lose.
And maybe he has better hair? Did you see Gundy's mullet there?
Yeah, we're big hair people, and Herman wins in the hair competition.
All right, thanks so much for the time. Enjoy today's game.
Hook 'em!
All right, we got our third person of the day. It's kind of poetic, guys, because we're now talking about Swampgate. And JP, if you can kind of pan over here, we're standing right next to the fans that are blowing water. And so it's perfect because our next series of questions involves the alleged lack of air conditioning inside the Texas visitors' locker room. I'm here with someone who's going to talk about exactly that. What's your name?
My name is Blake.
Blake, so I guess when you first heard about the story of LSU complaining about, I don't know, how it was a little bit hotter than they would have liked it in there, what's your immediate reaction to that?
Oh, I knew they were wrong. I knew Ed Orgeron, he made that up for sure. Chris Del Conte, our Master General Athletic Director, would never let something like that happen at our university.
Just too much of a stand-up guy to let something like that happen. I'm going to be honest with you. When I first heard about this story, I was like, that's kind of messed up that Texas would, I guess, try and, not turn the air on for their opponents. Sure. But this was then disproved by Louisiana Tech. Oklahoma State says they're not going to bring any sort of fans into the locker rooms. What, I guess, confidence does that give you, I guess, in the fact that maybe Ed Orgeron is not telling the truth?
Yeah, spreadsheets don't lie. Spreadsheets don't lie. It was between 68 and 72 degrees in there, so I see no problem with the air conditioning in the visitors' locker room at the University of Texas.
This guy knows his stuff. He even checked out the spreadsheets that were dug up from that visiting locker room. I will say this, though. You're standing right next to the air conditioning, so, I mean, you clearly think that, I don't know, maybe it's important to stay cool in these hot times.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to call you a hypocrite, though, because I understand. Thanks so much for the time. Can I get a score prediction from today's game?
Absolutely. 58-0 Texas.
58-0. We'll hold Blake to that. Thanks for the time. Enjoy the game.
Thank you, Jake.
All right, guys, that does it for another episode of Texas Nexus. We'll see you out on the field for the game. I'm Jake Garcia for KVUE Sports.